Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back. I know if you work for someone else, you've always said to yourself, man, if I owned this company, it would be a completely different story. Well, my next guest is Joel Patterson. He is the managing director of the Vested Group. It's an employee-owned consulting organization dedicated to the implementation of cloud-based technologies. Joel, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jeff. How you doing?
Great. So tell us about this idea of an employee-owned company. How does that work?
Sure. So in our industry, in technology consulting, one of the big problems that we have is that we have a lot of times where people bounce around between these technology groups. And one of the best ways we found to keep them engaged, wanting to stay with the organization and have pride in how the organization is built, is to give them a piece of the pie. So when we started the Vested Group, that was one of our main tenets, is that we wanted to be able to allow them to own a little bit of the business. And so everybody is offered what we call phantom equity. And what they earn at the end of the year is based on how we do as an organization as a whole.
Wow. I think that's a very innovative concept, and one that really makes people committed way beyond just the 40 hours a week that they might be getting paid for. What have you experienced in terms of turnover?
Yeah, that's one of the best things. I mean, we've proven it pretty well. We've only lost one person since we started the business 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I think not only does it help the business grow financially, but it also helps hold everybody accountable. One of the things we really push is the accountability side of things, to make sure that not only is the leadership keeping our employees accountable, but also their colleagues. There's nothing more, I would say, there's nothing that's going to drive a commitment more than one of your peers actually saying, hey, have you thought about this? Can you think about doing that? And really allowing us to grow the business in an organized manner that way.
I think it's brilliant because when you think about it, in most companies, if the guy sitting next to you or gal sitting across from you is slacking, you're saying to yourself, well, it's not my money. They're taking advantage of the boss's money. But in an employee-owned company, the person who is slacking is really letting down everybody else.
That's true. And that plays itself and manifests itself in a lot of different ways, not only just in how they perform their work, but being on time. Showing up, little things like that you kind of take for granted. It really allows you to notice when that stuff is happening, because other people are noticing it, because they're expecting the same thing from you that they expect from themselves. And
I read a study one time that said that the true cost of losing an employee is much greater than the boss might think. That it, depending on how skilled that job is, it could cost anywhere between half a year's salary to a year and a half's salary to go recruit, hire, train, get the employee up to speed. So I think your concept is really brilliant in terms of keeping good employees in place and happy and working, as hard as they can.
Yeah, and it's even more critical in our business because, we're in the technology consulting world. So most of our employees are working for a client, right? So they have projects that they're working on for them. They learn how they run their business. They learn how they want to implement the technology. So when we lose somebody like that that's part of a team, we also, not only do we have to replace them internally, but we also have to replace them on that project. So then all of a sudden we have the investment side of being able to, or of having to get them up to speed on what those requirements are, how they work with the client team, as well as with the Vested Group employees that are with them on that project. So it's almost twofold for our business.
Joel Patterson, the managing director of the Vested Group. That's thevested.com. Joel, tell us more about your company. Who is your dream client?
Yeah, we work with all sorts of clients. So we work with a product called NetSuite. It's a cloud-based enterprise software package that can really work well in just about in any industry, but we really focus on the manufacturing segment, distribution, and professional services. So if you have a business that you may manufacture widgets, you may just distribute somebody else's product, and you have a need around supporting your financials, your order entry, your inventory, all the manufacturing activities, we come in, we identify your requirements, get them documented, and implement the solution to support all of those activities. So really you can take where you might have 10 different systems running to be able to support your business, you can get that down to a single one or maybe two tops, and with NetSuite as the backbone of all of that.
And it really saves money.
It does, ultimately. A lot of people still are confused about what cloud-based means, but at the end of the day, what you're really doing is allowing somebody else to maintain things that you don't want to. So you don't have to buy any hardware. You don't have to buy the services that support that hardware. All that's done for you so that you can really focus on your core business and not worry about the things that are going on with the zeros and ones or the bits and bytes in a data center somewhere. So it really allows you to just focus on your core business.
Now, Joel and I met through a group called EO, that's Entrepreneurs Organization. We would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about that. How did you first get introduced to EO?
You know, it's funny. I actually got introduced to them through a client. One of our clients who's pretty significant, plays a significant role within EO here in Dallas, just started talking about it. And it sounded like something that I was interested in for mentoring, for learning. We have monthly learning activities that are very beneficial for everyone. Plus, you and I are in something called Forum, where we meet every month to talk through our business issues, not just professionally, either personally as well, and really gives us a vehicle to learn from one another, learn that a lot of us make the same mistakes, we have the same concerns,
Right.
And I like to think our employees are entrepreneurs as well. So again, going back to the employee-owned aspect of our business, we really want to instill and cultivate that entrepreneurship internally.
So spending just a couple more minutes on EO, because I know that at least the guys on our forum will give us grief if we don't spend more time talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, as I used to be an employee, and as an employee you could talk to anybody, and employee issues are universal. Boss issues are much more rare, I believe. I find that, my circle of friends, when I talk to them about boss problems, they really don't relate. Even if they're working inside a large company, they don't relate to the, cash flow and all the other headaches that go along with being an entrepreneur. What did you get most out of your membership in terms of value?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's learning from other people that are going through the same things every day. You mentioned it earlier. Employees a lot of times think that they understand everything that it takes to start, grow, and manage a business. And the fact of the matter is there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that they don't see. Well, this gives you an opportunity to really share war stories with other people that do the exact same thing that you do every single day, from the $1 million company to the $1 billion company. We have all sorts of entrepreneurs that can provide that kind of expertise and feedback so that you're not just making it up on the fly all the time. One of the things that I was really missing in my career before EO was mentorship. I really believe that mentoring is extremely important as an entrepreneur, and I didn't have one. And now I have a couple, and and they've been invaluable to teaching me some of those lessons, being a sounding board for things that I might be struggling with, and just being there for support.
You brought your lovely family here. We've got to give a shout out to the family. Why don't you introduce your family?
Yeah, so my wife Hillary is here, who actually works in the business as well. We have a lot of our family works here.
Very cool.
My brother-in-law, my nephew, several friends. Plus, I've got my daughter Elise Burton, who's acting a little shy, and and Dean Paul, who's my baseball player.
In terms of just kind of work-life balance, being an entrepreneur can be all-consuming, but you really do have to find time to, celebrate your success with your family. Do you not?
Yeah, the thing that we always try to do, I'm on the road a lot, we work a lot, but we like to travel. And I think that we get the best time together as a family when we're on the road together doing something fun. We're actually going to Phoenix to go celebrate a graduation for my daughter Stevie on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we do a lot of things like that and try to get away, and keeps us out of a pickle.
One of the things, because I have a family company too, and my daughter Sarah works with us at Real News PR, and it struck me that every day I'm modeling for her, work ethic and honor, integrity, and all those things. What are some of the qualities that you hope your children learn from watching you?
Well, we preach three things: respect, integrity, and diligence. Those are the three things I'm always beating into their head, and trying to make sure that they understand that as long as you're paying attention to those core tenets, you're going to do okay. Whatever decisions you have to make, and hopefully they can recite that on the drop of a hat. But I think we try to keep that at the forefront of all of our decision making, and hope to pass that along to our kids and their kids and everybody else.
Do you see either of your kids working with you in the business one day?
Dean talks about it quite a bit. Elise, I don't know. She's our troublemaker, so you never know about it. And my daughter Stevie is just graduating from cosmetology school, and she's super excited about that too. So Dean's my best prospect, but we'll see what he really wants to do when he gets a little older.
All right. Well, listen, Joel, thank you so much for being
thanks, Jeff. Appreciate
great guest. And give us the website one more time.
It's thevested, THEVESTED.com, as in the Vested Group, and all of our contact information is on there, and we'd love to talk to anybody that might have some enterprise software needs.
Awesome. Thanks very
Thank
much,
you.
Joel. When we come back, a mother-daughter duo that is starting a philanthropy revolution. Random acts of kindness and generosity just ahead on The Jeff Crilley Show.
More of The Jeff Crilley Show coming up.